Morning, everyone. Welcome to live lesson for March the 20th. Welcome to our final week. This live lesson marks one of our final live lessons, and I'm going to take this opportunity to go through with you your final exam, your final exam essay. As well as your final reflective paragraphs. So, like always, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to begin lesson. It's 12 o'clock. Anybody that joins in after is welcome to ask questions as we go. I'm going to flip my screen and show you our content page and just talk to you about specific expectations and things that you'll be working through. So, first and foremost, today is March 20th, and today marks the final day for all course submission work. If you do choose to make one resubmission for an assignment or a task, please let me know because I get no notifications when work has been resubmitted to Dropboxes. So if you're resubmitting something, then please let me know so I know to go back to that Dropbox and mark it. Okay, so just make sure that that gets done for sure. And today is the last day for that. Now, moving forward, you're going to notice in your drop boxes that I've altered the date for your final exam and then your final reflective paragraphs. So originally, I had your final essay and your reflective summative paragraphs both due this Thursday. So what I did is I just broke it up. If you can get them done both on the same day, that's great. Your final essay will be due Thursday. That's staying the same. But your reflective paragraphs, if you need until Friday morning, then that's fine. So I've made that alteration in terms of due date on our agenda. I as well made it in our Dropbox items as well. I just think it might be a bit more fair in terms of time. So that has been made and is ready to go. On Friday, what you're going to notice is that I'm just going to post, it's not an official exam or anything like that. It's just a kind of like an exit survey in terms of the course itself. So please complete it if you can. That would be fantastic. Okay, so that's kind of the updates on that. I'm going to, one second here, switch my screen. One sec. Perfect. Okay, and now I'm going to go right to our 5 paragraph essay. So this is our final paper for the course. This counts as your collimating task. So you're looking at about 15% of what this is actually worth, approximately, just kind of depends on how the weighting plays out, but you're looking at approximately 15%. And this is our 5 paragraph essay. You know that we have been working on the concept of power throughout our entire course. And if you remember, our very first assignment was a paragraph about power. Now, I left it pretty vague at that point. I did that on purpose, depending on the perspective that you wanted to take on it. And then throughout the sort of thread of the course, we've definitely been connecting the idea of power in media, power in literature, power in censorship, all those types of aspects of power. So this assignment kind of brings that all to a close. So it says, based on the following quote, you're going to create an essay outline, first draft and final draft of a 5 paragraph essay using the concept and theme of power itself. So the idea that power tends to corrupt and absolute power corrupts absolutely. Great men are almost always bad men. And this is Lord Action letter to the bishop in 1887. So my question to you is, do you think that this is true? After going through the course, after evaluating different aspects of power, do you think that power always corrupts and that to hold absolute power over something, someone, a group of people, it absolutely always corrupts? Is that a fair definitive statement? And I want you to kind of pick this apart. I want you to take this type of quote. I want you to go with it. I want you, if it kind of steers you in a defensive direction, if it steers you in an opposing direction, both are absolutely fine. It's just, again, like we've learned, it's all about how you support that opinion. So when you go down, you're going to notice that you're going to create, that's a complete essay outline. So it's our 5 paragraph, 3 body paragraphs, plus our intro and our conclusion. You're going to have your hook, your subtopics, your transition. Again, nothing different than what we have been working on this whole time. And then in your body paragraph, you have your introductory, your point, your proof, your example, your concluding sentence. Now, a few students have asked me in the idea, um, but what do I mean by example proof? So again, we've sort of looked at the connection. So this is real world connections. I want you to pull um, examples from whether it's media, whether it's things, stories you've seen, heard, watched, etc. So you have to pick a position, first of all, on your perspective of power and whether or not you focus or rely specifically on the quote. And then you are, of course, bringing in specific examples, um, coming into supporting your opinion. So it depends how you want to sort of defend your position. That's up to you. But you now know how to bring in other sources, looking at sources that are credible slash not credible, how to cite those sources, how to make it cohesive into your own voice as well. And that's basically what I'm looking for. You're doing that in 3 body paragraphs, and then, of course, your conclusion, and you are submitting your collimating paper there. So, again, in terms of the position you take on the quote provided, some students kind of create a whole paper just based on that quote. Some students take that quote, kind of play around with the concept itself and then work from there. So again, it really is totally up to you. But the idea again is back to the concept of power. Now I'm going to take you to our lesson 20. And that is where I gave you some more time if needed to Friday morning. And this is power of growth. It's reflecting on your own work in the course. This is not a paper, it's not an essay, nothing like that. This is, in fact, you are writing approximately 4 paragraphs, solidly written paragraphs, approximately 8 to 10 sentences, give or take. And you are going to be very specific to specific curriculum strands. So, for example, media, oral communication, reading, writing. So this is your opportunity to go through the course, back through the assignments created, back through your work, and you are in fact going to pick a piece of media, pick a piece of reading, writing, and oral communication that you've created, and you're going to reflect on it. You're going to identify your strengths, you're going to identify areas of improvement, what you found most helpful in this assignment, what you've learned, what you found not so helpful, etc. The most important thing that I want you to remember is that when you're doing this, you need to go back and pull something very, very, very specifically. Okay? So that is something that I want you to keep in mind. So again, these are just well-written separate paragraphs that are identifying key strands, key pieces of strengths and areas of improvement based on your own work that in fact align with Ontario curriculum expectations. And then again, you're going to submit that right here. You have your rubric in terms of how you are going to be evaluated on that. And that's that. So that's worth your other approximately 15%. So when you add that to your final paper, that is a grand total of almost 30% to your overall final mark. Now I am going to switch. There we go. So hopefully that is helpful to you in terms of clarification. I don't think anybody's come in to ask questions, not yet. So I'm going to hang out here for a bit to see if anybody has any further questions. Again, please contact me if you need any help, if you need any more time. If you resubmit, please let me know. Again, it will not notify me if you do. I won't know to go back and remark anything. And you can do a resubmission for one time. You can't redo one assignment multiple times. You can do a redo once per assignment. So again, just let me know if you guys need any help. Hopefully this is Good enough. I think I've chatted for almost 10 minutes, which is more than enough time. And hopefully you found it helpful. I'll talk to you guys later.